Hi, horror film recap here. Today, I'm going to explain an American horror film called Terrifier 2. Watch out and take care. At the beginning of the movie, we see that Art the Clown has badly injured the coroner who is investigating his dead body. He calls 911 for help but cannot speak, and Clown writes his name on the mirror with his blood. Then he picks up a hammer, goes to the coroner, disconnects the phone and then breaks his head. He then severely mutilated his face, gouges out his eye, after which he murders him with that hammer, breaks open his head, and takes out his brain. Then he picks up some stuff from there and goes to the laundromat to clean his blood-soaked garments. Now he is sitting there reading the newspaper when he sees a little girl. They're dressed in similar clown makeup. That girl comes to him and touches his face, and then both of them start playing. A man sitting there sees that Art is interacting with thin air, and then we see Art leaving from there and the man being impaled through the head with a mop handle. A year later, we see Sienna Shaw putting the finishing touches on her Halloween costume. This is the dress of a warrior princess, designed by her late father, who died recently from a brain tumor that caused strange visions. Now during dinner her mom Barbara asks her brother Jonathan if he figured out what he is dressing up for Halloween, to which he says Miles County Clown. But Sienna asks him not to do that and tells her mother about that clown, and Barbara also explains to him not to do that. Later, Sienna talks to her mother about Jonathan's interest in serial killers, and on the other hand, we see Jonathan researching Art the Clown in his room. That night, Sienna has a dream in which she is at a clown cafe and she encounters Art the Clown there. Everyone present there is very happy to see him, but Sienna is scared of him. He starts giving candies to all the kids and also gives Sienna a gift with a beating heart inside. The box starts filling with blood and then Clown shoots everyone with a machine gun and kills them, but Sienna is saved alive. Then he starts burning the entire cafe, and when he comes to Sienna to kill her, she takes out the sword from the Crispies box and puts it forward, and when she wakes up she sees that her costume is burning. She comes out of the room and then her mother comes there and extinguishes the fire. Her mother scolds her why she left candles lit under the dress, to which she tries to explain her mother she did not leave the candles burning. After this, when Sienna returns to her room, she sees that the sword that had been given to her by her father remains unscathed amongst the ashes. On the other hand, we see Art the Clown and the Clown Girl watching the interview of Soul, survivor from Miles County Massacre named Victoria, on TV. The woman says that she saw the clown die and then the clown breaks the TV. The scene now shifts to school, where Jonathan sees Art the Clown and the Clown Girl playing with a dead opossum. Suddenly they look at him and throw a possum at him, fearing that he runs away and into a teacher. She then finds the opossum and thinks it's Jonathan who brought it to school. On the other hand, Sienna and her friends are talking about Victoria, where her friend tells her that she went full-on psycho at backstage and mauled the anchor with her bare hands. Here Barbara learns that Jonathan has been suspended from school and she gets very angry at him. Meanwhile, Sienna goes to the costume shop to find a replacement pair of wings. Here her friend Allie collides with Art the Clown, but she thinks that it is someone wearing his costume. After this, Sienna's eyes fall on him and she sees him looking at her, and she leaves from there in fear. Now while paying at the counter, she notices that she has forgotten her bag downstairs, and only then the clown gives her bag. Sienna gets very nervous seeing him, and then he playfully starts antagonizing her. The shopkeeper then goes to get the bag and Clown starts walking towards Sienna. He starts bothering her, but then the shopkeeper comes there and asks him not to do so, and then Sienna leaves from there. The clown closes the shop after she leaves and returns to shopkeeper. He then starts taking out some tools from his bag, and the shopkeeper threatens him to call the police. When he asks him to leave, Clown breaks a bottle on his head and then stabs the same bottle in his eye. He then kills him by striking that cleaver on his head and then decapitates him. A mother and her child come to the shop where they see the clown holding the shopkeeper's head. Here at home, Jonathan tells Sienna that he saw Clown at school today, and he also shows her a photo of the girl in his dad's sketchbook who was with Clown. He says she was not looking inhuman and he thinks there is some connection between her, the old carnival, and the clown. He shows her some sketches which also have the sketch of that costume, and he asks her what if she is connected too. Their dad created this character for her and he gave her that sword right before he died. Just then his mother comes there and tells Sienna that Jonathan has been suspended from school because he took a dead animal to school. Jonathan explains to Sienna that it was not him but that clown and that girl. Jonathan begs Sienna to stay home tonight, but she says that nothing will happen. Next, the clown goes to Allie's house and she confirms if he is the same guy from the costume shop. Allie says she can't give him anything and shuts the door, but he starts banging on her door. Allie angrily opens the door and asks him to leave, and when she throws candy in his bag, she notices it is full of tools. Now seeing this, she gets very scared and comes inside the house and sees through the window that the clown is leaving from there. Now at night when she is getting ready for Halloween, she hears the sound of breaking glass. She goes downstairs to check, where she sees that the glass on the door is broken, and only then she sees a clown in the kitchen, which she gets scared seeing. She tries to run away from there, but he catches her and makes a cut in her face with a knife. Then he cuts off the skin of her head with a scissor and peels it off. Then he breaks his hand and separates it and rips the other hand in the middle, after which he leaves from there. Just then her phone rings, and when she moves towards the phone, the clown comes back and pours bleach on her and rubs salt on her wounds. Now when her mother comes home, she sees that the door of the balcony is broken. She runs to Allie's room, where she sees that the clown is cutting meat from her body, and when she sees that Allie is still alive, she gets terrified. Then when some children come to their house, Clown serves candy on the head of Allie's mother, some of whom complain about how sticky the candy is. On the other hand, Sienna is at the party with her friend Brooke and she asks her about Allie, on which she asks her to enjoy the party. Here in the house, Jonathan is sitting in Sienna's room when Barbara comes there. He asks her about his dad's book, to which she says he was sick. She tears that book in anger and Jonathan calls her a bitch and is then slapped by her in return. He storms off furious, and after a while, Barbara hears some sounds and gets shocked to see the family car vandalized, and she thinks it has been done by Jonathan. Here at the party, Brooke tells Sienna that she put Molly in her drink. Meanwhile, Jonathan finds the clown's car parked on the way and sees the clown girl inside, and runs back to his house. Here Sienna calls her mom, who tells her that Jonathan covered the whole car with shaving cream, toilet paper, and eggs. After disconnecting the call, when she starts cleaning up the mess, she finds Art inside the car and is shot in the face. Back at the party, Sienna sees the little girl dressed as a clown and has a panic attack. Here Jonathan returns home and finds his deceased and mutilated mother on the dining table. Only then Clown comes there and serves mashed potatoes on her plate and then smashes them into her unrecognizable face. Jonathan tries to flee but is stopped by the clown girl. He then runs upstairs and tries to hide in Sienna's room, but the clown follows him and incapacitates him with a needle. Here Brooke and her boyfriend Jeff are driving Sienna home when she gets a call from Jonathan, saying that he is at an abandoned carnival, but we see it's actually the clown girl mimicking his voice. The three then reach that place, and when Sienna sets out to find Jonathan, Brooke tries to stop her. Jeff says they should go with her, but she refuses him and tells him that Jonathan turned psycho since his father killed himself. He had a brain tumor that made him see things. Sienna investigates the premises, and she gets a text from Jonathan that he is at the Terrified. Here Jonathan wakes up and finds himself at the haunted house named Terrified, where he sees the clown girl whose entire face was mutilated. He gets terrified seeing her and flees. Outside, Jeff goes to the toilet when the clown attacks his penis and uproots it. Then he breaks the window pane of the car and pulls Brooke out, but she fights back and flees. Now the clown starts chasing her and she runs to haunted house, but the clown follows her there too. She tries to fight back, but he throws acid on her face, causing her face to burn, and then he starts attacking her with his weapon, and finally kills her by smashing her chest. He then takes out her heart and eats it. Sienna finds Brooke's dead body, where she also finds Art. He walks towards her and only then she sees Jonathan behind the clown. She asks him to run and attacks Clown, but he overpowers her and starts assaulting her badly. After injuring her, he sets out to find Jonathan. Here Sienna gets up and finds the clown's weapon there. Jonathan tries to escape from there, but the clown catches him and starts attacking him. But then Sienna comes there and attacks him from behind and tries to escape with Jonathan. But the clown had injured her, due to which she stops. Jonathan tells her that they used him to bring her here. It's something with their daddy's sword, and he thinks only she can stop him. Now they start looking for a way out again, but Clown comes there too and starts attacking Jonathan. Sienna tries to save him by attacking the clown, but he attacks her too and throws her away. He then again starts assaulting Jonathan, but Sienna covers him to save him, and then she tries to fight back. She attacks him with his own weapon and injures him badly, and then impales a rod on his head, seemingly killing him. But he gets up again and tries to kill Sienna, and only then Jonathan notices a gun on her leg, and he grabs that gun and shoots him. Sienna faints and Jonathan tries to wake her up, but she sees her mother, who tells her that she is safe now. Just then Jonathan tells her that she is not her mother, and here the clown girl shows her a vision of how the clown killed her mother. Then she sees that Jonathan is not there, and when she goes out looking for him, she finds Jonathan lying unconscious in front of the clown. She runs to the clown and starts hitting him, but he tries to kill her by strangling her and then knocks her down. Now when Sienna comes to her senses, she sees a portal there, and only then the clown comes from behind and stabs her with her father's sword, seemingly dying. She falls into a dream she had earlier in the movie, trapped in a water torture cell. Art then goes to Jonathan and tries to wake him up, and when he wakes up, he sees the clown eating him. He tries to run and call Sienna for help, and we see lighting in that sword and in Sienna's wound, and she gets resurrected. She then frees herself and comes out of the cell and attacks the clown with the same sword and then decapitates him. He appears dead, after which Sienna and Jonathan embrace, and then the ghostly little girl takes his head and leaves. In a mid-credit scene, an institutionalized Victoria, the mutilated sole survivor of the first movie, goes into labor, writing swear words in blood on the wall, giving birth to Art's head. A nurse enters the room after seeing her give birth to Art's head. Screaming in horror, Victoria laughs, and the movie ends here.